I mean, we don't really gain too much from sitting back either. My draws have been not so... Wow, no counter magic from the opponent. Probably no counter magic. This just snap resolved. There was no waiting period, so probably no counter spell. Let's write that down. Let's jot that down. Unfortunately, this Ancestral's going off, and Ancestral Vision... The fact that he had this in the opener is just gross. It's just gross. The Chasm Skulker, of course, is going to grow to a pretty tremendous size. And maybe I should have just taken a turn off Damnationing, you know? Because this is more, you know, squids. It may have behooved us to take a turn off. I don't have enough rat tokens to just chump block the Chasm yet, because of the Legacy's Allure. I may have wanted to Damnation the Chasm Skulker. I'm not even kidding. Yes, he gets some squids, but it would have been fewer squids than now. I think we just take a 6. We'll just take a 6. I mean, you could chump with Carroted. We're doing pretty good on mana. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It doesn't really change the number of rat activations I get access to. Well, we can do to chump block. It's not terrible. I think I should always float mana though if I'm blocking with something like Carroted. Oh, you know what's awkward? If I go to activate Rat, well, no. It's already on the stack. If he allures, it's not a huge deal. Yeah, I mean, you still activate here because, yeah. Even if he allures, I'm still getting the Rat token. Six. I don't think we're on the Damnation plan. I think that's what we pitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Now we don't need to play any more lands though. Our curve pretty much stops. The only thing that exceeds 6 in our list is Ugin. So we probably won't play any more lands. We'll probably just, every card we draw outside of the Murderous will probably go towards Rats. So we're already past block phase. He didn't use the Allure. So I actually have the opportunity here to activate Rat maybe once. And it's not too terribly greedy. I wouldn't be doing this during attacks because of the Legacy's Allure, but I'm definitely fine doing it during block phase. That play. But he missed. He's got a Chasm Skulker that's kind of annoying here. Now, if I was going to kill the Chasm Skulker anyway, I should do it before he draws a card, because that's one more squid. But there could be other things in this deck we're scared of. We can chump the Chasm forever. There are other creatures or things that you might want to Murderous more than the Chasm. I'm going to take a 7. It's ballsy. I think I'm just going to take a 7. I don't know, this is your last chance to Murderous the Chasm Skulker. And we can play around all sorts of soft permission if we want to. You know, we can delve this spell to play around some soft permission. It also makes Wrathing the Rats look a lot worse. I could also just activate Rat. Is this thing more or less scary as a bunch of 1/1s? Is it less scary as a big 7/7 that we can just chump block? It's actually kind of less scary as a big old 7/7, actually. I think there are definitely other things we can think about. Alright, so there's the verdict. So in response to verdict, you just kill the Skulker, and it cleans up the problem. But then again, he has 6 cards, so it's not much better. But it's kind of as good as it's gonna get. We'll play around Spell Pierce, so I'm gonna delve this for the full amount. We know that he doesn't have the Force of Will. That already happened. So this kills the Skulker. It's also gonna take care of all the tokens. So that's not so bad. Alright, let's draw well. Let us draw and let us draw well. Because Ugin's still in the deck, I am going to make every land drop that we draw. Otherwise, I would sandbag the lands, but the fact that we still have a spell that we don't have enough mana to pay for just yet makes me want to do that. Oh, you took the visions. I just don't like that cantrip. It's not my favorite. I mean, it's a draw spell. Yeah, it's a draw spell. We can see what he did with it. He went top. It's not scary. Oh, he's blue or red control. Okay. So Kronos. I think that's probably what I'm most afraid of now that I see a mountain. Kronos. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so now we don't make any land drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you may have some soft permission that we don't want to just slam the Ugin. Maybe we, you know, as long as he's not really doing much over there other than just sitting on a Legacy Zalor, we're fine maybe waiting a little bit. I mean, it's not like I pulled any permission. Like, it's not like... the only thing I can do if we're up against a handful of counters from the opponent, he does have a full hand, is something along the lines of sequencing my threats. I can kind of sequence some things, like maybe start off with the Arena, see what he thinks, then move towards something like the Polukranos and the Master. Try some of the creature-based threats, although, of course, Legacy Zalor is scary. We might draw the Abrupt Decay to answer this before we start having to throw critters. But yeah, it's good to see you, Chocolate. That's unfortunate. He decided not to use the Jace. That's gotta be wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna pretend to tap some mana and think for a moment and then be like, oh wait, there's a Legacy Zalor. I shouldn't cast my big scary thingy. There, hang on. Yeah. Nah, we're not gonna cast it. Your move. We are not going to cast this thing that we've drawn. Your move. But we thought about it for a second. We thought about it. I thought about it, and I was like, maybe I'm gonna cast this. Alright, big old bonfire. Bonfire. Oh, that's why he didn't draw a Jace, because it wouldn't have been the first card he drew this turn. So he's just trying to burn us out? That's funny. That works. Yeah. That'll work. No wonder the last player didn't have Lightning Bolt. This guy has the Bolt. Probably. It's a Bonfire you to 6, and then Bolt you. He doesn't have Snapcaster, though. It needs to be 2 separate Lightning Bolt effects. Alright, hang on a second. So we can't really play Master. The problem is he just Legacies it. But... can we... no. I floated a different color there just to maybe make him think, but... oh, gosh, these are not the draws we need. It would have been gross. Well, with the Legacy Zalor, I don't really want to play much of any of our creature threats. Just hope it takes him a while to see his Bolt and or Helix. Probably like Lightning Bolt and Helix are probably his burn spells of choice. Okay, island. Hang on, let's float. Let's really think hard about this red card. I'm going to tank for maybe a couple minutes, or not minutes, Jesus. I'm going to tank for a few seconds here. So what are we hoping to draw? Let's look at the deck list while we're making him think I'm tanking on casting something. What is it that we're looking for? We're looking for runner, gunner, planeswalkers, or not arena. Unfortunately, the opponent looks like he's on the burn plan, so we're looking for like downfall to answer the Jace, or abrupt decay. But you could also just abrupt decay the downfall. He definitely has some creature removal by now. Pass back. Definitely has some creature removal by now. It's just not burn based. It's like Path. It's like Swords to Plowshares kind of stuff, probably. He can't just like, if there were draw spells, he'd be casting them. If there are counter spells, he's gonna hold them. Factor Fiction? Oh, Mystic Confluence. Hang on. And this is where we say, alright, I might Cryptic. But I'm more interested in countering what it is you get with Confluence, is what this says. Yeah, Smash Yak would be great. This is me saying I'm more interested in countering... Aren't you gonna... Okay. I'm more interested in countering what it is he gets off of the Confluence, basically, is what I'm saying here. You know, we can handle a Precursor Golem, come on, right? We've got a Damnation. Although we already used it. Is there anything you would think to do, Kami? No, you let the Precursor resolve, it's fine. You got it. It's fine. You got it. Sketchup says he won't buy it, why don't you Cryptic to lore to get stuff through? Joke's on you, we've been sandbagging lands now. We say okay to this, right? I mean, we have to. But, more than that, we're okay with it because we get to keep the Lantern. I mean, I'm not terribly okay with this. This means you probably will never get to Ugin. If we, like, draw Ugin off the top, we're very sad. But if we can handle the Precursor... We've got several lands in hand we could rebuild. We'll have to answer the Legacies of Lure first. Master can go wider than Precursor eventually, although these are 3/3s and these are 2/2s, but eventually you can catch up. I think the problem is we're at 6, though. I think we're just not going to have enough time to answer it. Say okay. I think we're just not going to have enough time. He also may not buy it because he might have been the guy that picked up the Cryptic. I maybe should have needed to float, like, spells that we... I probably should have been floating mana for counter spells we saw from the last blue opponent we played. Oh, nice. Dungeon Geists. It's not fast enough, though. The Dungeon Geist wasn't fast enough. But what's nice is we have a lot of information. I actually have a lot of cool cards we can bring in this matchup. He hasn't really seen what we are, but we've seen what he is. So we know how to combat him. We saw several artifacts that are definitely worthy of... we definitely saw several things that are worthy. Why is this guy floating Cryptic? I have the Cryptic. Right, he could have been the player that picked up the Cryptic. Actually, I think he definitely is, isn't he? We never saw Cryptic from the first blue player we encountered, right? We should float a different counterspell next game if I float Counter Magic. Alright, Shadow Mage is sweet. I almost would run a Temple. Like, this is a grindy match. I'd almost run a Temple over a Forest just to give us... Our Erebos comes in. Survivalist comes in. Maybe even Regrowth, because I kind of just want to be casting Planeswalkers. So I kind of want my Planeswalkers back. He had very little creature action, and the creature we did see was an artifact. I almost don't want to go for the throat. That could be a cut.